Hello there, my Facebook friends. Welcome to Tuesday at 2. It is Tuesday, July I think it's the 17th. It is Candy, also known as sweetstamper.com. That's my online handle. Somebody's here. Welcome, welcome. It's Diane. I'm so glad you've joined me today. And Jeanette, hello. Welcome, Diane. You're finding me with no problem now. Sometimes when people aren't familiar with some of our different pages and things on Facebook, it takes them a few minutes to find. It is the 17th. Thank you, Diane. So I've got Diane from Delaware, Diane in San Antonio, and Jeanette in San Antonio here with us today. So thank you for joining me live today. And I am so grateful that you're here, Crystal. I'm so glad you're joining us. The live aspect of Facebook Live really is just so much fun, and I appreciate, sometimes we have a love-hate relationship with technology. We love it when it's convenient for us and when it makes our life easier, and we hate it when it's not working the way we want it to, or when there's sometimes people have identity, their accounts get hacked and things. But hey, Gail, I'm so glad that you're here with us today too. But for the most part, I personally really love technology. Cynthia, I'm so glad you're here as well. I remember when some of this stuff first started coming out, and I was determined. Hi, Paulette from Ontario, so we got a little Canada going here. I was determined to not be the grandma that got left behind, because I knew the younger generation would be on this pretty quickly. Michelle, I'm so glad you're here. And Bobby, well, we got a good group here today. So I really wanted to get a hold of technology and make sure that I had at least some understanding of it. So that is, and Leslie from England. So we've got a little international tour going here, and that is just so much fun. And somebody's putting some hearts up there, which I'll be able to see later on. I think it's Leslie. So when y'all put hearts and y'all put little thumbs ups, signs and things like that, that's really kind of makes me feel extra special. So if y'all want to do that, it's extra nice for me. So I'm in the midst of getting ready for my Alaska incentive trip. My husband and I leave Friday morning. We're leaving our house at 4 o'clock in the morning. And we will be riding the seas on the Alaska cruise. We are on Royal Caribbean ocean liner, and we're very excited. This is an all-expense paid trip for 2. That is a reward that Stampin' Up! Gives us when we achieve that. And so I'm super excited. But I don't want to get too much into that today. Hey, Cecilia, I'm so glad you're here. I just wanted to kind of catch up with y'all a little bit about what's happening in my world this week before I get into the fun stuff of stamping. So let me share with you where I'm going to go today. I know I've been kind of stuck on Rooted in Nature. I've shared with you before a couple of times, but I do think this new stamp set, actually a bundle in the new Stampin' Up! Catalog, is just a must-have, and it's just amazing. So this, once again, is the stamp set for those of you who are not familiar. And there are a lot of, as you can see, it takes 2 full cases to hold all the stamps. There are so many different looks with this stamp set, and I have some little baggy books with different samples. Bobby, you're loving yours. I'm so glad. The framelets cut out the different elements of the stamp set. And there is coordinating paper. This is coordinating paper as well. And I love the font, these great big greetings. You are wonderful. That kind of covers a lot, because you are wonderful on the inside. I can put happy birthday. I can put congratulations. I can put thinking of you. I can put so many different things. This is one of the smaller leaf patterns. Leaf images that we can stamp with. And although the suite gives us a lot of these green leafy, this is one with just the stamps and all neutrals, and this is just the stamps. Although you think of trees and leaves and you think of lots of greens and browns and more greens, you can also go in some different directions. And I will tell you where I'm going today is definitely a different direction than green and brown. As much as I love the greens and browns and all the natural hues, let me go this way. My favorite patterns in the designer papers that go with this particular suite of products are the ones that incorporate the petal pink. And petal pink, which of course I don't have right here in front of me, but it's one of our new core colors, and it's a gorgeous, gorgeous, kind of almost like a flesh tone, but it's a very peachy pink. In fact, to me, it's more of an orange than a pink. So let me just grab a sheet for you here because I don't have to lose you. Whoa, I just lost you anyway. See, this is what happens. Okay, so here is, are you still there? It's telling me to rotate my phone. Okay. So here is my, let's see, let me go this way and show you my, there we go. So this is my paper, and I'm right here where I can grab a piece, and different people store their paper different ways. For many years, I did not have anything like this. Am I upside down for you? There we go. For many years, I didn't have anything like this, but somebody was getting rid of this and sold it to me just super, super cheap. So I grabbed it, and the way I store my paper is I do think in color families. So once I get into a color family, then I do them in alphabetical, and that works for me. So this is a subtle is what I'm looking for, and I'm looking for petal pink, and so that's going to be right here. And as you can see, it is definitely, I'm going to get my natural light here, definitely a peachy pink. And I am just, it's probably one of my favorite. I just keep playing with this. I keep coming back to this same color. It is probably my favorite of the new core colors. And let me just, my apologies for making you a little seasick today. This is the color, and I'm trying to give you an idea of the color, which may just not be coming through. So let me abort that and go back to where I was, and that is, let's get to stamping since I've already got you in this direction. Okay, let's do a little stamping. I will show you what I'm gonna make with you today, and it is this card here. I am absolutely in love with the way this turned out. I love the color scheme. So this is that peachy pink that I'm trying to explain. This is that petal pink, and the color combo coach that Stampin' Up! Offers to us, and I'm going to give you the link when I get off of here, paired this petal pink with Blackberry Bliss, this super deep purple, and this very bright greeny blue called Bermuda Bay, and I just think it's stunning. I think that's coming through with the with my light. I love the bold contrast of this card. So let me go ahead and show you how we're going to make this. And again, I just think this has kind of an unexpected look, which I love things that are a little unexpected and a little out of the box. Hi, Terry Lynn. I'm so glad you're here with us. And this really is super quick and easy, which is my favorite way of stamping. And I've got a couple of things going here. So this is my little packet, and this is the way I do my packets when I'm doing classes. Everything is in here to make my card today. So I have in here all of these elements. And what I did here is I did what sometimes, well, what I call a book fold. So instead of having a fold that, this is a little more, well, this is a book fold too. Here we go. Let me go with a I got stuff going everywhere. I've been on a purple kick this week. This is a card that I had created for our free event, my free class last week, Sip and Stamp. And this is what we would call a traditional fold card. It just opens up like so. But you can take the same half sheet of cardstock, well, you can cut it a different way, and create what I sometimes call a book fold. So this is one that I did for, I have a dear friend that unfortunately passed away last Saturday. And the service, hi Cheryl, I'm glad you're joining us. The service for her is this coming Saturday. And hi Peggy. So this is the sympathy card that I created for her. Just soft pinks and deep purple, soft pink, and just a few little rhinestones. Personally, I don't like, although this card would look stunning with rhinestones, when I'm putting a sympathy image on there, I don't like bling. So I wanted just a little bit of softness and with an accent. So I went with the artisan pearls rather than rhinestones. But this is what I call a book style, because it opens a little bit more like a book, like you're reading a book to a child. This is what it makes me think of. So that's the way that I did this card, is just book style. And it just has a little bit unexpected, a little bit different than it would typically fold out this way. So that's the reason, I guess, that I came up with that particular opening for this card. It's just a little bit unexpected. And so I went ahead and cut and folded my card base. So here's my Bermuda Bay card base. And now I'm going to layer on this particular piece of Blackberry Bliss. Now I ran this through the Big Shot. This is a new embossing folder, and it's one of the really deep, there's a name for it, but it's when it impresses really deeply. Yeah, there's somebody on here will give me the name of this type embossing folder that just embosses deeper than our typical embossing folders. So this is what it looks like. And it actually is really pretty this way, the debossed side. Hi, Christine from Minnesota. Dynamic, thank you, Diane. This is a dynamic impressions folder. And so it is going to give you either the embossed side or the debossed side. And I really like them both. And when I was first creating this, I originally did it with this was not embossed, and I thought it needed a little bit of texture. But most of the folders that I put on this, it was too busy. I wanted something that was going to be subtle. I wanted some texture, but not too much. And so this is what I came up with. And I'm going to have this part of the flower a little bit more on this side, because the other elements that I'm going to layer on here are like so. Now, just to save time, these have already been run through, my other little elements have already been run through the triple banner punch. I will tell you that I do believe this is every single person who stamps. If you don't have any other punches, I do believe this is the one that you really should have. And it's because you can create so many different sizes of banners. You see how that slips right in there? That little 1-inch piece slips perfectly in there. Actually, I think this is 1 1/4. Then the next size up, and then there's the biggest, the largest one that's on here. And even those that don't fit exactly in the lines, you can just kind of eyeball it and get it centered in there. And I do like to always punch this first, because it takes off almost the flag part here takes off almost a full inch of your piece of paper. And you don't want to stamp on a piece of paper and then run it through here and it ends up cutting off part of your, what you're intending to stamp. So I'm just going to stamp a simple bold greeting. And I think, again, kind of when you're looking at something, I like, this is bold contrast. I don't want a little delicate greeting here. I need something bold. I like bold with bold. So here is my Blackberry Bliss. This is the stamp color, or the ink color I'm using. And this again is one of our new pads, and you just open it like a compact, slide it out. Some of y'all are finding that these are a little bit stiff when you first get them, but as you use them, they get easier to use, and they just kind of loosen up a little bit, but nothing too difficult. If they're super tight, just run them back and forth several times. You can even put a little bit of wax candle in there just to kind of loosen it a bit. But just be mindful that you don't get wax going in different places in your stamp pad and leaving something behind that you don't want. So here's my You Are Wonderful greeting. And I'm going to just tap, tap, tap a couple of times. It doesn't need a lot, you know. Sometimes I think we tap a little bit too much. Now let me show you one more thing. Because I want to have room for this bow here, I'm going to stamp my greeting a little bit farther down on the, towards the flag. And so you just stamp, hold for a couple of seconds, and then lift. Super easy, super quick. That is the way I like to roll. And now I'm actually ready to assemble this. I mean, that's how quick. I know I did prepare this ahead, and I did prepare, you know, I ran this through the punch, but other than that, even the preparation was super quick and easy. Okay, so let's go ahead, and this is a totally flat card. I did not actually add any dimensionals, which is maybe a little bit unusual. I oftentimes do use dimensionals like most of us, but there are times when you just don't need anything extra because everything is already kind of bold or lifted, or you just don't need that extra bit of lift. And I could put this all the way down, but I like that little bit of frame almost there. And Cheryl, I'm glad you like this color scheme. I think they're perfect too. This is not a color scheme I would have ever come up with. This is definitely a Stampin' Up! Color scheme. So now you see, here's where I could lift this up, but to be honest, I really just like it flat. So that's what I'm going to go with. And I'm going to put it up where I have a little bit peeking out the top. I don't want to go, you know, I could go like this, but to me, it's a little bit too matchy-matchy when everything lines up like that. And it also totally obliterates my flower. So I'm going to bring it down where just a little bit of that is peeking out of my Designer Series paper. And that is it. The only other thing I need to do is tie a little bow and put that on the card. And of course, can I find my ribbon? No. So let me show you what I'm going to do here. Thank you for sharing, ladies. I see some of you are sharing, and I do have a little sharing special for you. I'm just going to take this loop like so, wind my second piece around the back, and then bring that second piece through right there and tie. Diane Ebling and I, and Peggy, we were all kind of working on tying bows when we were at the tea room the other day, and for Sip and Stamp. And once you get it tied, then you can kind of mess with your loops and your tails and kind of get it the way you want it. I do like this little center to be pretty tight. I don't want it to be too loose and floppy. And I typically will do a pretty small bow, but on this one, I wanted the bow to be pretty large. So now I'm ready to just, whoa, knock you over. And while I'm grabbing my, scissors, I'm knocking the camera over. And I personally, you know, some people cut their tails straight. I personally, this is very much a personal, what's the word, style, taste. You see, to me, that looks a little bit unfinished. I think, personally, that when you cut your tails on the diagonal, they just look a little bit more finished. Olga, I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so glad you're loving this color combination as well. Like I said, I think I would never have come up with this color combination on my own, but I do really love it. So now I'm going to take one of my mini glue dots, and I find the best way to use these for the most part is just, if you can, to stick something directly on it, push hard, and then lift, and it comes with you. And that way you're not having to get it all on your hands and everything. So now my ribbon is ready to go there, and it's still going to fit nicely into my envelope. So the only thing left that I need is my sequins, and I don't think I brought them over here. Like I said, I'm a little more scattered than normal because of my trip, but let me grab some sequins. Well, I can't leave you here on your own, and I can't find my sequins except for this is the sequin still in the package, and these are going to the winner for the drawing last week when you shared. Whoever was going to share this video from last week was going to be the winner of my projects for the day, as well as these. And the winner for that is Melissa, no, not Melissa Thomas. Sorry, she was the winner last time. Who is my winner? I've got it written down here. Crystal Wilson, you are my winner for last week. So I don't want to break into these because these are yours. So what I'm going to do, I can't find my sequins readily, and they are on my original. So we're going to do a little impromptu, let's see, let's make it work. So this is how I store my pearls. I store them all in one little clear mount case because for me, that goes onto a bookshelf, and that's easy storage. And I could find these easily, so I think I will grab some of these artisan pearls and see if they won't give me a somewhat similar look. That nice little pink. I think they're going to look really pretty. And this is called Improvisation. Improvisation. So here I will do a few of these little pearls. Now, Darlene and I were having a conversation yesterday about how you decide where you're going to place, if you're going to scatter pearls or rhinestones or something like that. So on this one, my original, I did the petal pink sequins, and I only did 3 because they're pretty good size, and that looks like a balanced look. Here, these pearls are smaller, and so I need more. That just kind of looks a bit lost because everything else here is pretty large. And I like to work in odd numbers. So if I'm going to either put on 3 or 5 or 7 or 9, because if you give, to me, when you put an even number of embellishments like this, it ends up looking a bit matchy-matchy, and it just doesn't look right. So I am going to take actually a couple of shades here, and I'm going to put, let's see, I've got 5, let's go with 7, because again, this is a larger area. I keep getting little linty bits on here. Whoopsie, I think I just lost my, there it is. There's my pearl. Let's see. Let's go over here. And then, so I've got them kind of scattered across here. I need one more. So I think we will go, let's see. I think we're gonna move one. Do y'all ever do this? I know you do. So let me move that one down here.
Okay, so now I don't want it to look like the chicken pox, but I do need to have kind of an array. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So I do prefer the larger sequins, but I do like these as well, the artisan pearls. So, you know, you kind of have to use what you have, either what you have on hand or what you just happen to have at all. Terry Lynn, I'm glad you liked my pearl storage. I actually have one of these for rhinestones as well, and for several other things. So we'll get into storage on another Tuesday at 2. My time is running out. I didn't want to share too many projects. I think last week I got in trouble because I shared too many projects and got way behind. Ada K, you're here too. I didn't see you earlier. Diane, mixing the pearls and sequins. That's a fabulous idea. That would look really cool. And again, you got to use what you have. Now, you see how this little tail is kind of, it's kind of moving on me a little bit. If that ever happens and you're wanting it to stay put, just take a tiny little bit of snail, and then you can put your ribbon down and it won't shift on you, because I don't want it to cover up part of my greeting. You are wonderful. So this is going to go, this is going to go in the mail to somebody next week. Well, actually it will be the week after, because I'll be in Alaska next week, with a package of the ribbon. Now this ribbon is actually a combo pack. So you get this color, which is the petal pink, along with spruce. Diane, you're correct. A glue dot would also work there. Usually I'm kind of using whatever is quickest, whatever is right in front of me. Again, I'm a quick and easy girl. I need it to be fast and quick and simple. So yeah, my glue dots were nearby, but this happened to be what I grabbed first. So either one will hold your ribbon nicely. So if you will share this video on your Facebook page, your Facebook wall, I would be ever so grateful. And if you do, you will be entered into my drawing for this pretty card and a package of 2 bolts of ribbon. You get this one as well as shaded spruce. So share away, my Facebook friends, and that will put you into the drawing for these items. I did want to also just leave this with you, and that is that this is my Stampin' Up! Online store, as well as my events, my online calendar. If you look at my events, I've updated everything for August. I was so proud of myself. So all of my August local events are ready to go. There's only 14 spots left for Craft Retreat, which is not until October, but the early bird special ends August 31. So if you're looking for Retreat, it is filling up very quickly. My other events, I've got a Christmas card class and a Christmas home decor class coming up the first Saturday in August. And if you would like to place an order at this same spot, here's your host code. And I have some goodies for you that are specially designed for my trip because I will be at sea. And I will be sharing those goodies and those freebies in my newsletter. So let me, if you're not already on my newsletter, shoot me an email and let me know that you want to be on there. Let me write my email on here. I think most of y'all are already on there, but it's candy@sweetstamper.com is my email. And I will add you to my newsletter, my email newsletter. I do let you know about specials coming up, events coming up, but also I do give free project tutorials each month. So that is going to be it. Thank you so much for joining me. It has been delightful. Thank you so much for your patience as always, as I drop cameras and do all kinds of funky things. But you know, we are so human, and every one of us, and I appreciate you embracing me in spite of my imperfections and my rank amateur approach here on Facebook Live. But I'm just having a lot of fun sharing with y'all, and I trust that you're having a good time too. So thank you for sharing. Don't forget to share. And I appreciate every one of you coming on here today. And I will be sharing pictures of Alaska. Each time we go into port, we will try to get Wi-Fi. I think a lot of us will be on various places, coffee shops and places, trying to find some Wi-Fi so we can share some pictures. But Alaska cruise is exciting trip. My husband and I are really, really ready. I'm ready for vacation. Well, I'm not ready in the sense that I've still got a lot to do before I get on that boat, but I am ready in my heart and my soul. I'm definitely ready for getting away for a week and spending time with some of my really good stamping friends, and most of all with my husband. We are celebrating 40 years of wedded bliss in just a couple weeks, so we're doing some fun things on this trip. Thanks again for hanging out with me here Tuesdays at 2 every week. I will not be here next week for Tuesday at 2 because I'll be in Alaska. But I will be here the following week, and we'll be sharing with you then. So thank you so much again. Take care, and God bless.